So welcome to week 3 of AP Research, and what we're going to try and focus on this week is questions, because questions are going to be what makes or breaks your research this year, your capital R research. So already we've dealt with, there are various domains inside of research, so meaning like the natural sciences versus computational sciences versus history versus social sciences, or the arts or literature. So you know where hopefully you want your question to land, because each one has its own style. Hopefully you know what type of data you're probably going to want to work with, probably because it's what you're comfortable with. Do you like numbers? Do you like words? Do you like both? And also hopefully you know what type of approach you're going to take. Are you going to be trying to explain something that no one has attempted to explain before, or at least a subset of it? Are you going to try and explore, meaning find out something that no one else knows, probably finding some correlations or gathering data that no one's ever seen? Or are you going to try and create something, produce a product that you haven't thought, hey, maybe this is a good thing to have? Or by producing this product, you're exploring something, or not exploring, but you're investigating a technique that is long lost, or what have you, or you're trying to improve something. So it's more like an engineering phenomenon. The catch is, whatever you're thinking of now, it probably is a bad question. So usually what turns out to be wrong with questions is they're too broad. So you need to narrow it down. Usually you need to actually figure out, so what are you really trying to measure? And then are you actually going to do something with how you measure it? Who or what are you actually examining? Because sometimes you need to be that specific. Why are you doing this? Do you actually understand the purpose? Do you know what gap you're trying to fill in? Are you asking a question that's even possible to answer? And the only way we can do or figure out these things is you need to have practice writing questions. So I know every week I ask you, what do you want to study? So what you really need to do is take what you want to study and start asking as many questions as you possibly can about them, being as nitpicky as possible, because the questions you have now are not going to be the questions you're going to end up researching. And like I've said, I went through a couple rounds of this where I thought I knew what I wanted to research for my master's, and where I ended up was not where I began. And it was because my questions were bad and we needed to work on it. Because AP research is a capital R research, what you did last year in AP seminar is you did a lit review, you did an introduction, you did a survey of what people know. And what you're really trying to do is find out, what don't people know? What gap exists in the knowledge? Where I've explored everything around this topic, but there's something that's missing and I can't find any information on it. That's a gap. We don't know what should fit into there. And so that's what you go for in this class. You did your background research. You did AP seminar. What you now need to do is find out what is missing. And now let's go and attempt to find it. That is where your question is supposed to be. Obviously, in order to do this, we need to have a matrix. And I automatically think of the movie, so sorry, you have to indulge me. It came out when I was a senior. In reality, you're going to go for a lit review or a lit matrix. So all we mean by a literature matrix is it's an organized way of every single paper you read about whatever your topic is. So what's the point of it? What questions are they trying to answer? Tell me about, show me the citation. What did they do? What type of results did they get? What type of conclusions? Did they actually talk about implications? Did you happen to find issues with their paper? And it's organizing it all together into one spot. And the reason why you want to do that is so you can actually make reference to it later, because you're not going to sit there and want to go back and reread all the papers. But if you already have a big old template of, here's all my information that I have, it's going to help you out because you have a place that you can constantly refer to.
Feeling stuck on your research? Not sure why you have to review so much literature? Still writing notes with a pencil and a piece of paper? That just doesn't make sense. Hello, I'm Bobblehead Mark Twain, and in addition to being a bobblehead and Mark Twain, I'm a literature review genius. You look surprised, but I'm going to show you the 6 reasons to do a literature review. Reason 1. Limit the study.
Let's see. Guess I'll do my topic on pizza. 842 million hits? Wow, I better narrow my search.
Reason 2. See what's been done before.
Okay, so I'm going to start my research on where does rubber from tires go once you've been driving on them for a while. So let me start my searches. Ah, rats, this has already been figured out. It all goes into McDonald's hamburgers.
Reason 3. Discover some design options.
I think I'm going to do a review on juggling while skydiving, yes. Based on the review of literature, I think it's going to be a phenomenological study, yes.
Reason 4. Anticipate possible problems.
Wow, I think I'm going to research a topic about putting my pizza together and the oven while it's hot. That sounds like a good one. Let me check the literature. Wow, someone got hurt doing that. I think I better avoid the obstacle.
Reason 5. Find gaps in existing research.
Wow, I was going to do my research topic on pepperoni pizza, but it turns out there's a gap in the research. No one has ever researched the topic bologna pizza.
Reason 6. Provide a backdrop for your results.
Kathy, I did this experiment and I found out that 72% of people who were abducted by aliens have some psychological side effects after the fact.
No, I think, what are you talking about? That makes no sense that they would be affected by that.
Kathy, you should read my literature review and it'll make a lot more sense.
Okay.
With those 6 reasons, lit reviews should make much more sense.
The reason why we need to know about what you're researching in terms of your knowledge gap, because you found some questions that you've figured out from your lit review, is so that we can create this thing that we call the initial inquiry proposal. This has to be done by the end of November, and the reason why it needs to be done by the end of November is by then we're getting a little too late in the year, because you only have like 5 months till I have to have everything turned in, which means you don't even have that long. So we want to give you as much time as possible. By doing the lit review, what you will realize is what has been done. You will find where there's a gap in knowledge. You'll have time to figure out, well, what do I need to do to fill in this gap? Once we can fill in the gap in terms of knowledge, what we can then do is figure out, well, what methods do you need? What type of approvals do you need? Fill out the form, get IRB done if you need IRB completed, and then you're on your way. We don't need to wait till the end, into November 30th, in order to fill out this form. I'd prefer if we don't wait until November 30th to fill it out, actually. So this is the question that you ask is really important. It really is, because everything hinges on your question, because your question is going to dictate what you do, approvals that you need, whether it's already been answered. Because if it's already been answered, you can't do it. And it's going to be something that is going to show up and it's going to embarrass you and it's not going to end well. So we need to make sure your question is pretty good. So with that question, we have to make sure that it answers a whole bunch of questions. Namely, has it been answered? Can you pull it off? Is it nitpicky enough that it's small that you can answer it? And has it been answered before? In order for us to get there, we have to talk about peer feedback, which is the focus of next week, because we're going to do a lot of peer feedback. I cannot tell you what to fix. I cannot tell you what to do, nor can anyone else. But what we can do is get feedback, and then you can sit there and say, I like your feedback, or I'm not necessarily thrilled with what I was told, so I'm going to ignore it. But you're going to be getting feedback and you will be giving feedback a lot.